Hi everyone! Welcome back to our channel again.
Today we're going to do something a little special. Linda doesn't really know what we're going to be doing today.
I have no idea. He said it will be a special surprise for me, and I'm like, sure, bring it on.
Yep, a special surprise. Growing up in school, we learned a lot about these things called tall tales. A tall tale is like a story that we tell from generation to generation, basically about a person.
Okay.
So like, there's a couple that we're going to go over today. John Henry, Paul Bunyan, Pecos Bill. These people
Are those your friend?
or they're not my friends, no.
Oh.
But
okay.
before I tell you anything about them, I want to give you a small little test.
Okay.
And this test is just a little multiple choice
Multiple
test.
guess?
Multiple guess. No, it's called multiple choice.
I know, but for me.
Yeah, so multiple choice test, and each person is going to have four choices, and you'll choose which one describes that person. Before telling you about them, I'll tell you these tall tales are like legends that we have about a person, and usually they're kind of exaggerated. So hopefully...
So am I the only one here who doesn't have any idea what's going on? Like, are you guys all like familiar with that? Like, you guys all know what he's talking about? Because I feel like I'm the only one. I've been here for like 5 years already, and I think I know enough. Probably shouldn't say enough, but I know a lot of things that's going on here, I think. But I've never heard anything that you just talked about, and you make me feel so scary. Like, are you really my husband that I know?
It's fine.
All
it's
right.
fine.
Okay.
So we'll do these things, and I won't tell. I've written them down, and
Okay.
all of them are on here, and you don't know which one is which, but I know
Okay.
the answer.
Okay.
So we'll start with John Henry. Okay? John Henry, he either A, beat the devil himself in a game of basketball,
Okay.
B, was raised by wolves, C, beat a steam-powered drill tunneling through a mountain, or D, fought and killed a bear with no weapon.
Oh my gosh.
Do you understand all the questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Which one do you think it is?
What? How am I supposed to know?
I don't know, just
Like,
you're
any
just gonna
hint?
take a guess.
Any hint for me?
Okay. John Henry was a black man.
Black man
He was a black man.
in the U.S.
In the US. This happened in the US.
Is this real?
All these people happened in the US. So I'm gonna share 4 people today, and half of them are real, half of them might have been real. The other
Okay.
people, there are some people who were real though.
Okay. Basketball. He sounds like a basketball. If he's black, I would tie that to basketball.
Yeah?
I have no idea.
Okay. Is this your final guess? A,
Yeah,
basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
So no, it's
Oh
not.
my gosh.
Yeah. So John Henry was a black man, and this was in the 1800s.
Was he real?
He was real. This guy was real, and he was working on the railroad.
Okay.
And there's a railroad that goes across America, but this was in Louisiana territory, I think. And they were trying to dig through a mountain. And what they would do back then was they would dig a hole to put in dynamite and explode it. But back then there was a machine that came up. It was steam powered, and it would drill through the mountain. And John Henry didn't like that a machine was taking jobs away from men.
Okay.
And so he challenged the drill to a race, the machine. And so they both started at the same place, and they dug a hole through the entire mountain. And whoever came out on the other side first won.
So he won.
He won, but then he died later from like a heart attack because he worked too hard.
Okay. This is not fair because I have no idea.
No, that's fine. We're learning. So we learned that John Henry was, a family man, and he loved his family, and
Are
he
you
was
sure
big.
this is just not your family thing that everyone every like American out there knows what we're
Every
talking
American
about?
should have learned about these tall tales that we're going to talk about today.
Fine.
I chose some very specific ones that I'm pretty sure a lot of people know.
I really need someone to tell me that this is not he's making
tell me if I'm making things up. Okay.
Comment down below and see.
Yeah, when I was researching this though, it was pretty cool. There was a guy in the 1920s that was researching whether or not this story actually took place, and he went to the town near where it was rumored to happen, and there was an old guy that was a child when this happened, and he saw it happen, and he said that everything was real. And so it was pretty cool. So this story was real.
Okay, next time you have to give me more hints, because this is basically a guess.
So,
if you just say he's black, or like, okay, basketball.
Yeah, I kind of threw that one in there, but
oh my gosh.
Next person is Johnny Appleseed, or John Chapman is his name. So Appleseed.
This is probably not real, but keep going.
So he either A, planted apple trees all throughout the US.
This is definitely not it. This is not the right answer. I can see that's a trick. That's a
trick.
Okay,
B.
That's a trap.
B. He was the inventor of the apple pie.
I don't think that has anything to do with apple.
C. He cured a dying man by giving him 1 apple a day.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is sounding more and more ridiculous, but keep going.
Okay, D. He brought the first apple to America as a sign of peace.
So all about apple.
Apple. Johnny Appleseed. So his name was John Chapman. He later on goes by the name of Johnny Appleseed. People call him Johnny Appleseed.
And what was the last answer again?
So the last one was that he brought the first apple to America as a sign of peace.
I think it's simple. Any more hints about him? Is he real?
He is. This one is a real person.
Okay, it's a real person. What's the first one again?
He planted apple trees all throughout the US.
Doesn't sound real. I'll go with D.
D. Okay.
He brought an apple.
He brought the first apple to America as a sign of peace? No, he didn't. He lived after America was already settled and separated from England. It was actually A. This is not the right answer. He did. So Johnny Appleseed, John Chapman, worked as a nurser, or he worked in a nursery, and he planted apple trees all throughout the US.
Oh
and
gosh.
He would take apple trees and he would plant them in many different places all throughout the US. And what was cool is because his apples were not used for eating, they were used for making alcohol. And so he's recognized by a lot of places for bringing that type of alcohol over, like apple cider and stuff.
How did you know all these stories? Did your parents?
Yeah, when we were in like 3rd grade, we watched movies, like little cartoons that kind of depicted it, and there's songs that go along with these things, but it's just basically a tale of a legend of a person that happened. So
am I gonna get past this?
You can do this. It's almost two more people, and yeah. Okay. The next one, Paul Bunyan. Okay, Paul Bunyan. He was either A, an English merchant who freed black slaves.
That doesn't. No, isn't that another guy? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. B, he was a logger who carved the Grand Canyon with his axe. So a logger is the person that chops down the trees so that it can go and be milled for wood. Okay? So he used his axe and carved the Grand Canyon. C, he created the Rockies, or the mountains, these mountains, during a snowball fight. Or D, he was the first man to tame wild horses in America.
I am so confused. I wish this is live so that you guys can just pop out those little, hints and stuff down there so that I can have some hints about this person.
Okay, this person, he had a sidekick, not really a sidekick. It was, he had an animal pet It was an ox. You know what an ox is?
20.
No, not a fox.
Oh, yeah.
An ox.
What's
O-X. An ox is like a big cow. It used to pull wagons and stuff.
Okay, 就是牛嘛.
Yeah, it's a牛.
Okay.
It's a cow. And this cow was named Bluebell, and it was a blue ox.
Okay.
He also he can eat 50 pancakes in under a minute. He was known for eating.
Okay.
He's really tall, and he could chop through trees like nothing.
So is that the one that he chops the canyon?
Oh, darn it. I gave that away, didn't I?
No. I choose C.
C. He created the Rockies during the snowball fight.
No, that's a B. A B.
Choose B?
I choose B.
Okay, yes. He was known for being really tall. He would chop through trees.
This is probably not real.
Yeah, this guy wasn't real, but he was known for, carving the Grand Canyon with his axe. He was in a race to chop as many trees, and he got super focused, and he started carving a canyon out. He was really tall. Like some statues have him as like 20 feet tall, but like in other stories he's as tall as like the mountains themselves. So
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I got it right.
that one you got right. Okay, this one maybe not, we'll see. Okay, so the next guy is Pecos Bill. Pecos Bill was either A, an outlaw who stole from banks and gave to the poor.
Okay.
B, he created modern electricity by fighting with the storm god.
Okay.
Okay. C, he created the Gulf of Mexico by lassoing a storm in California and riding it to Texas. Or D, he used his long beard to fix a rope bridge over a mountain pass in Nevada.
To fix a what?
A bridge, a rope bridge.
Okay.
So he used the strings of his long beard to fix some rope that made a bridge across some mountains in Nevada.
How old is he?
I don't know. Maybe in his 40s, 50s.
Okay. Oh my gosh, these are ridiculous.
They're all ridiculous. So Tall Tale is supposed to be kind of ridiculous and out there.
And I'll choose. Okay, if we're going with the ridiculousness, I'll go with the one from California to Texas or something like that.
Yes, that's true.
Really?
Yeah, you got that one right. Yeah, so Pecos Bill was basically a cowboy. He's not real that we know of, but he was kind of created as the person that tamed the Wild West. And one of the stories is that Texas had a drought, and so he went over to California and used his rope to lasso up a storm, and he rode it all the way over to Texas, and it rained, and it became the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a cowboy, and so a lot of old Western cowboy stuff have a lot of Pecos Bill in their stuff. Yeah, but
wow.
Yeah, these tales were stuff that I learned in like 3rd grade, and they were just fun American literature and stories. Some of them were real, some of them might have been exaggerated. Like John Henry, some stories of him tell him dying right after he breaks through the mountain and wins. He just dies right there with the hammer in his hand. Oh. But according to that one guy's story, he actually died like a couple of days later from heart failure. Just the heart failure part was true because he overworked himself. So now you know.
Like this.
Now you know a lot more about American stuff, and you should do something like that in Chinese culture. I think our viewers would like to learn a little bit more about that stuff.
Yeah, I'll think about it, and I'll make sure you get nothing right.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thanks you guys for watching. Comment down below if Marcus is just lying to me. I can't wait to know, like, if he's making mistakes or anything, or like just trying to make me embarrassed.
No.
But okay.
I'm not trying to make you embarrassed.
All right, let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.